Welcome everybody to Healing Humanity's Soul. This is week number 10. We have done this for 10 weeks ago, right? Can you imagine that? That means it's 10 weeks that we have been in quarantine, shelter at home. And look at the light shining through each and every one of us. We are strong, beautiful, and better than ever. Thumbs up on that. So my name is Jackie Woodside. I'll be working with Meg Rain, Shipley Allenson, El Gallo, and Brian Dozier. Leslie Smith is generally with us on these as well. She's traveling back to New England today from Florida. So she's not joining us for music, but I think she's logged on here. Anyway, so thank you all for joining us. We have a wonderful theme today, which is Be the Light. Be the light unto the world, be the light unto the darkness. So that is what we will be singing and meditating and thinking about in our hour or so together today. So bring that into your heart as we spend time together. I will remind you of a couple things. One is if your video is on, we can see you. That means don't do anything weird or quirky that you don't want other people to see you doing. Yes, no nose picking, no vaping, don't go to the whatever. And the second thing I'll remind you is that we will have an opportunity for some sharing later on, and just unmute yourself and go ahead and speak up when you would like to do that. And yeah, looking forward to our time together today. Meg, I'll turn it over to you.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Get muted. Oh, yes.
I just muted everybody.
This song was inspired by Marianne Williamson, and you'll hear something of hers in here. And we're all here to shine, baby. I hope you'll sing with me. I usually have a choir. Shine like the sun. Everybody shine like the sun. It's time to shake off the weight of the illusion. We're lifting the veil. Finally wake up and lose the confusion and drink from the one holy grail. Like the sun, we're all gonna shine like the sun. It's our light, not our darkness, that frightens us. Who are we meant to be? Brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous. We're meant to fly free and shine like the sun. Everybody shine like the sun. So let your light be a wonder to the world. You've got nothing to hide. Radiating the glory of your love. Turn yourself on. Turn yourself on. Shine like the sun. Everybody, let's all shine now. Everybody shine like the sun. We're all gonna shine like the sun. Everybody shine like the sun. Come on now. Turn yourself on. Turn yourself on and shine. Go light your world, baby.
Thank you, Meg. So let's take a moment to be still, go within to that place that is always praying, that place that remembers. As Meg said today, and Jackie have told us, our theme today is to shine like the sun, and it does seem that Marianne Williamson's words, most famous words, bear hearing again and again and again, and so I read. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within you. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we're liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So our invitation today is, go turn yourself on. And so it is. Amen.
Night has turned to day. Night has turned to day. Night has turned to day. Oh, night has turned to day. 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 Oh, mama, now night has turned to day. I was walking in the darkness. I had not yet seen the light. I was swooping with the bad ones. I thought I had won the fight. At the peak of my delusions, I loved the money, girls, and cars. Now I'm walking in the sunlight, broken, battered, bruised, and scarred, but I'm so happy. Night has turned to day. Night has turned to day. Oh, mama, now night has turned to day. 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 Oh, mama, now night has turned to day. In the middle of the conflict between me, myself, and lies, I saw people die for nothing. I served lies to hungry eyes. But when I swam deep in the river of my conscience, I'd find a self-reflection, a new direction to a healthy state of mind I thought I'd never find. Night has turned to day. Night has turned to day. Night has turned to day. Oh, mama, now night has turned to day. 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 Oh, mama, now night has turned to day. But I ain't going back to the work. No, I ain't going back to that work. Ain't going back to the work no more. That's captured all my dreams and happiness. I'm gonna find the highest ground that I can stand on. 'Cause 3 lives is enough, child. Night has turned to day. Night has turned to day. Night has turned to day. Oh, mama, now night has turned to day. 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 Oh, mama, now night has turned to day. 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 Oh, mama, now Night has turned to day.
Dude, it was awesome, Brian. Thank you so much. So it's awesome to be here with all of you today. Thank you for spending an hour of your week with us to raise the consciousness, to raise the vibration on the planet at a time when it feels like there is a calling for night to turn to day. I was thinking about that as Brian was just singing that song, Night Has Turned to Day, and I've heard over and over again people who have contracted the coronavirus that the night times are really, really hard for them. And we have a lot of symbolism around nighttime, that, you know, the dark night of the soul, and the night has turned to day. And this whole theme around shining your light, let your light so shine. I wanted to begin, you know, because I really like these times together to be practical and interactive, not just for us to kind of give out, but also for us to receive and to talk and to think together. So I want to invite you into a question with me. What does it mean to shine your light? What does that mean anyway? We use the phrase all the time. So hop on chat. You guys who've been here a few weeks before know how this game goes. Hop on the chat box and let's explore this idea together. What does it mean to shine your light? To not be self-conscious and not hold back? What do you got? What does it mean to shine your light? Let your light so shine. To be the best expression of your God self. Yeah, Beth, that's beautiful. Light is vibration. It's rising ourselves to help rise others. Living your bliss, Brian, I love that. So light is vibration. It's rising ourselves to help rise others. That's great, Deb. I love that. Being the best expression of your God self. Anybody else? What do you got? What does it mean? To love everyone with no exceptions. Amen. Trinity, Paula, following the fire within, so that sense of passion and purpose. I love that. So now, next question, keep your hands on your chat box. Brad says, to channel divine energy through me into the world. Ooh, take that in. Right? Take that in for a minute. To channel divine energy through me into the world. Next question then, that I really want us to make this very personal, and that is, how are you shining your light in this time of pandemic? Cindy says, to be unapologetic about going after your deepest expression and desires. Awesome. So how are you shining your light during this pandemic? By saying yes. It's awesome, Paula. Writing music. Yeah, Meg, I can't wait. It's awesome. By singing again. Yeah, Elle, thank you for doing that with us and for us. Listening deeply. Yeah, Paula. So some slowing down, going within. I love that about the virus, that what is the virus asking us to do but go within. Teaching yoga and meditation and donating the proceeds to a food bank. I love that. Signed up for a 2-year deep dive. Being of service to my mom. Brad, that's awesome. So that's really being present and listening to all. Sharing music with Hannah to the world. That's great, Brian. I love that you're doing that. I've enjoyed all the ones I've gotten on. They're beautiful. So that's, that's kind of our charge as people who are engaged in spiritual process, spiritual practice, right? We are here. I always, Shipley said this when she was senior minister at Unity on the River, we welcome all paths to God. I like to say there are many paths, but one destination, and that one destination is awakening. There are many paths, many roads, but one destination, and that destination is awakening. Trinity says, by letting everyone know it's still the best day ever. Yeah, by not being dictated by our circumstances. So Shipley sent me a text earlier this week when we were thinking about this theme of Be the Light, and it was so brilliant that I basically built my talk around this theme. And she said that it's growing from the Gospel of John when it says, there was the darkness, and into the darkness God said, let there be light. And it's kind of the beginning of the creation. And Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of the Unity Movement, interpreted that the let there be light, light is vibration, light is consciousness. So when God said, let there be light, fundamentally, what the animating energy of the universe. And again, be careful when we use phrases like God said, be careful not to picture some anthropomorphic physical being. Really stay in that cosmic expression. When we think of God said, what we mean is the life expressed. And when life wanted to express more fully, it's like, let's be conscious. Let's be conscious and awake. How does God express? But through awakening. So let there be light, or I am the light, or be the light, simply and yet powerfully and profoundly means I am awake. I am willing to awaken. And we are living in a time that there's all kinds of reasons to have, if you will, false gods. There's lots of people right now that are engaged in the false god of fear, worry, uncertainty, fright, lack. And with, again, not like with no reason. We are in an experience, a human experience that we in our lifetimes have never had before, or in many generations before. We've not gone through a pandemic and an economic impact of this magnitude ever. Isn't that perfect? Because now we really get to ask ourselves, what is my God? Am I awake? Am I shining the light and being the light? You see, here's the thing that prevents you from being the light. Well, actually, let me just ask that question. Get your fingers up. Go back to the chat box. I have all kinds of thoughts about it, but I'd rather hear what you have to say. What is it that keeps you from being the light? I can't wait to hear. This is going to be fun. Be as irreverent as you would like to be. What keeps you from being the light? Fear, says Brad. Yeah. Anything less than love. Well, ego, of course. Yeah. Me, Chris, good. Staying in some place other than the now. Yeah, exactly right. Feeling unworthy. Our own limited beliefs about ourselves. Yeah, exactly right. So all of it, right? So we know this, zoning out. Yeah, zoning out, Meg, whether in front of, the screens, TV, Netflix binging, all of the ways that we zone out. So, right. So we see this, there are all these ways, self-sabotage, Danielle. Yeah, absolutely. There are all these ways that we know that what we are here to do, the one purpose, the one path of the human expression is awakening. I am here to make manifest the glory of God. That's from Marianne Williamson's writing that Shipley just read. I am here. Just, if you will, just take a minute and say this to yourself. I am here to make manifest the glory of God. Isn't that powerful? Like, so when you're inside of that statement, I mean, honestly, how can you honor the false gods of anything else? How can you honor the false god of fear and uncertainty and self-sabotage and lack? I am here to make manifest the glory of God. That is what it means to be the light. So I asked the question, what is it that keeps you from knowing yourself as the light or being the light? And then I thought, well, let me see what you guys have to say. So let me tell you what was in my mind about it. Not like the right answer, just what I made up about it. What has you not being the full expression of being the light is the mistaken notion that your life is about you. What has you not be the light in the world, your Christ light shining, let your light so shine before men. Don't put your light under a bushel. What does that mean? The bushel of low consciousness, the bushel of fear and anger and resentment and comparison. That's the bushel that you put your light under. What is your light? It is your Christ self emerging. So I think the only thing, let's boil it down to one simple thing so we can all look at it today. The only thing that has you not be your light is living inside of the mistaken notion that your life is about you. It's not. A long time ago, I was engaged in the very conservative evangelical Christian movement. And there was a lot of talk about being born again. And in fact, I went through an adult baptism so that I could be born again and emerge as my Christ self. And I kind of love that practice because I like thinking about that there's this demarcation of when I was this way and now I am that way. And I really appreciate that about the evangelical conservative movement. I appreciate that there's this demarcation of like before I accepted Christ and after I accepted Christ. And I'm going to borrow from that today. Hey, Steph, glad that you're here. I want to borrow from that today, and I want you to draw a line in the sand. Like right in the middle of a pandemic, there was a time before I recognized that I am here to shine my Christ light, and that's it. That's really all. My life is not about me. Take that in. Say that with me. My life is not about me. One of my spiritual teachers, Dr. David Hawkins, would never even say me, my, he would talk about the ego, the body. So when you transcend the notion that your life is about you, and let me be clear on what I mean by that. When I say your life isn't about you, it's not about your petty smallness, worries, fears, and concerns. It's not about any of that. It's not even about those that you most love and want to hang out with. It's not about, am I being a good enough mother? It's not about, am I successful enough? Being your Christ light, letting your light so shine before men, means seeking in every moment to awaken to your divinity. Peace out. Mic drop. Period. The end. It's like, shut up. That's all it's about. Everything else, shut up. Oh, but I lost my job and the money. Got it. Great. Isn't that awesome? Because now you can see how God is going to show up in a more profound and exciting way. That job must have been really not aligned with your highest sense of self. Why? Because awakening means that life is always unfolding for good. That's the path of awakening. Oh, I just lost my job. Oh, I got coronavirus. Like, look, I don't want you to lose your job. I don't want you to get sick. I really don't. I don't want to look like I don't have compassion. But the truth is, the path of awakening, the path of living an enlightened life is not always pretty and easy. Sometimes your kids screw up. Sometimes the job goes south. Sometimes your spouse walks out on you. I don't want that to happen to any of you. But if and when it happens, when life shows up other than how you intended it, like a pandemic, all I want to know is that you can look at this and say, this too is here for my awakening. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. That is how you let your Christ light shine. That is how you be the light. So that the more you let your light shine, other people around you, you unconsciously give permission for those around you to do the same. As I awaken, you awaken. As you awaken, those around you awaken. We are one in this beautiful gift of life, being our light. And so it is. Thank you, guys.
Boy, Jackie, I just love you.
Back at you, sister.
Thanks. That's lost its mind. Where is our soul? Where is our heart? We each need to pray to find our way. There is a way out of the dark. Be the light, be the light. Let the flame that burns inside of you change somebody's life. Be the light, be the light. You may be the only candle in the night, but you be the light. When you are loved, when you are whole, someone will see and they will believe. Like a fire so strong, they will catch on. Be the light, be the light. Let the flame that burns inside of you change somebody's life. Be the light, be the light. You may be the only candle in the night, but you be the light. Shine, shine, show the way. Open your heart, don't be afraid. Be the light, be the light. Let the flame that burns inside of you change somebody's life. Be the light, be the light. You may be the only candle in the night, so you be the light. Be the light.
Elle, I'm breathless. That was magnificent. Thank you. That was a wonderful entrance into our meditation. I invite everyone to go within again as we contemplate all that Jackie has just spoken and all that Elle has just sung, and Meg and Brian. Let's take it all into our hearts. In the Gospel of John is written, "In the beginning, the world was formless and void, and there was darkness over the face of the deep. And God said, 'Let there be light.' And there was light." So what was that light? It was not just photons, was it? What if the light was consciousness? Consciousness or vibration. And it comes into being and consciousness creates. So from that place, from consciousness, the world was formed. We, with quantum physics and our greater understanding, are just beginning to grasp this, that our consciousness, paired with our feelings and emotions, creates our world. God is infinite energy intelligence, the vibration that permeates the world, and that same vibration is in us. And it is the light that enlightens everyone. There's no right or wrong here, just that we create accordingly. We let our light shine, or we hide it under a bushel. This little light of mine, hide it under a bushel, oh no. For we are here to be the light, to let the flame that burns inside of you change somebody's life. Be the light. Be the light. You may be the only candle in the night. You be the light. So let us go within and ask ourselves the question that Jackie asked, what does it mean to shine your light? And What prevents you from shining your light? How are you going to be the light today and from this point on? How can you shine your light? Have you been hiding it under a bushel? Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are adequate beyond measure. And if that is so, then we have to show up as it in the world. We must be that light, no matter how scary that might be. Because if we say we are to be the light and be in our highest consciousness, we have to show up that way. And that's why we're scared of it. So as we go in the silence, let's ask the divine within, if there is a way that I can shine my light that I'm not presently doing, a way that I might be hiding my light. And drop that question into the void, the realm of pure potentiality. And when you return, when we come back from the silence, listen for your answer. You may not get it today, but it will come. Let's go into the silence now. Peace be still in the silence. As we begin to come back to this present time, take a moment to listen. And going forth this day, be open, as the Spirit often speaks in wondrous ways. You will be guided, you will be blessed, and you will be changed. Be the light. And so it is. Amen and amen.
Amen. Thank you, Shipley. Thank you, Elle. It was amazing. I have to go back and listen to that again, listen to all of this again. I feel very lifted up by our time together today. Thank you all for being here and creating this vibration together. We are one heart, one mind, shining our light. And it's not about us. So this is the time in our gathering that we open the lines for anybody to make a comment, ask a question, or state a prayer request or a blessing. Before we do that, though, I wanted to announce to people this is week number 10 of Healing Humanity Soul. And next week, week number 11, will be our final in this series of Healing Humanity Soul 11. will be our last gathering, at least in this Friday 4 p.m. series. We may, over the course of the summer, do a couple more. I don't know how to let people know that. We all post them on our Facebook pages, but you may or may not see that. So, feel free to keep an eye on our Facebook pages. Speaking of being lit up, how do we tithe to this? Oh, thank you so much, Trinity, for asking. I guess you would just contact those of us who've been kind of just doing this as a love expression. Thank you for asking. That's very kind of you. So this next week, next Friday, 4 p.m., we will meet again, same Zoom location, and it will be the last in this series, Healing Humanity Soul 11. And perhaps we'll get together a couple more times over the summer, but probably not at that Friday at 4 time. All right, with that, I want to open it up and just see if anyone has anything they'd like to ask or say or share, or prayer requests or blessings, questions about the talk. Yeah, Nancy, go ahead. Oops. Nancy, you are muted, and I can't unmute you for some reason. There you go.
I heard about this series on the Conscious Connection, so I would recommend that you post it there as well, in the church, the Unity on the River venue.
The Unity on the River Facebook page, do you mean?
No, the Conscious Connection, the newsletter that goes out from.
Newsletter. Oh yeah, Meg, could you take care of that? Meg, could you take care of that? If we do one over the summer, you could put it in the Unity on the River newsletter. Yep. Okay, great. And Patricia asked, where can you see the replays? I've been posting the replays on the Vibe Tribe. On my Facebook page is called the Vibe Tribe. If you just search that, and it has a picture of me, so you can figure out it's the right one. There's several Vibe Tribes on Facebook. I thought it was just my thing. Mine's the coolest, if I do say so myself, just because you people are there. So if you go to the Vibe Tribe, I usually post it on Saturday or Sunday. I usually get the replay up. Yeah. And if you want to see all of them, my YouTube channel, so youtube.com/Jackie Woodside, or just go to YouTube and search Healing Humanity Soul. And you might want to put my name in it also, because it's on my YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube and search Healing Humanity Soul, Jackie Woodside, it'll take you to my YouTube channel, and they are all there. And they're delightful. Each and every one of them has had just a slightly different tone and feel all around this theme that we are in this together and we have everything that we need. It's just been a really lovely time of connection. So thank all of you. Anybody else? Anything you want to say, ask? Hands raised, prayer requests. Yeah, Cindy?
Well, first of all, it's just so delightful to reconnect with the Unity on the River family. Craig is in the other room, but we appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I'm a student of Ram Dass's teachings, and so I was thinking this morning, as I was actually meditating, that he talks so extensively about being stroked. You know, he had a stroke in his late 60s and then lived for 22 years until he passed in December, and how being stroked was the thing that opened him up to, here is this big spiritual teacher, right, for years, but that really opened him up to God, his own humanity, that's when the journey began after his stroke. And so I was thinking that we had been pandemicked in some way, you know, that it's not, and it was,
yeah, I love that.
And it was so resonant with your talk today, where I think I said this privately to people, but I'm like, there's Jackie kicking our asses again. I love it, right? So thank you for that.
Yeah, no, you're very welcome. You know, that's funny, Cindy. You know me as a coach, and that I do tend to be.
But you are an ass-kicking coach. I am
a little bit.
I say that in a beautiful, wonderful, loving way. You know.
Yeah, thank you. That is certainly my commitment. And, you know, I hope that people experience my ass kicking as passion. I am really passionate about raising consciousness on the planet. I am really passionate about people getting out of their own way and recognizing that we are here to make manifest the glory of God in, through, and as each and every one of us. And until that's what your life is about, I feel like there's just always going to be something missing. I have coached multimillionaires who own multiple businesses and have the yacht and the fancy home and the sexy wife, and they've got, or husband, and they've got all of that. And they come to me because there's something missing. And what's missing when you're engaged in life in that way, that it's about going out to do or accomplish or whatnot, which is fine. I'm a coach. I love that stuff. But when it's about that, there will always be something missing. So go and do that. Go and express your passions through music and speech and talk and art and all the ways that you're teaching, that you're being in the world. But when your life is in service to awakening humanity to its divinity, it takes on a whole other charge. So thank you for that, Cindy. I appreciate it. All these great comments. It's great to have the opportunity to reconnect with people. Trinity, thank you. Awesome. Anybody else? Anything you want to say, connect, prayer requests? Going once, going twice. All right, awesome. So we will wrap up today's version of Healing Humanity's Soul. I do want to say again that I just feel such incredible love and affection for each of you. When I heard about the quarantine, my first thought was like, we got to get people together. I can't remember who I texted first. It might have been Leslie, and then she texted Meg, and then I texted Shipley, and then, you know, it went like in 10 minutes we pulled together this thing. And it's just been so comforting to be in a community of like-minded people. And Shipley, I know I do this often, but I just want to acknowledge you for what you have created. None of us would be here on this Zoom call if it weren't for you doing exactly what I talked about today, exactly what we all sang about, exactly what you meditated about. You let your Christ light shine. You got the calling, you felt that calling at a time in your life that you didn't really want a calling, thank you very much, with a personality that didn't fit that calling very well, and yet you were an extraordinary yes. And I think about all of the lives that have been touched, elevated, and changed because you were a yes. I can only hope to walk in that path, to be lifted up, to stand on the shoulders of what you've done, and hopefully have that same elevation of other people that you have had. It is just extraordinary. So thank you.
May I interject?
Of course, dear.
So Jackie was my board president for 8 or 9 years. I'm not sure because we got lost there a little bit. But and you know, I don't think it was ever in your intention to be a spiritual teacher at that time, and you just kept moving to closer and closer towards it, and then you started teaching us during board meetings, and then it became quite apparent that there was an amazing gift here, and I have been so impressed with how you deliver so beautifully, so clearly, so succinctly, and it's just been a true inspiration for me. So if it has anything to do with it coming out and through Unity on the River, God bless it. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you all for being here and for this love fest. And we will be here again next week, but we've got a closing song and a closing prayer. And then I will unmute everybody because I know we all like to yell hello, hello, hello to each other. Thank you, Trinity. That's beautiful. Brian, I think you're up. I got to unmute you, buddy. Okay. Oops. Okay, stop it. I muted you and you muted yourself. All right, good. You're good.
I just thought thank you for everything, of course, and I just wanted a little shout out to Leslie that I hope she and Mark have a safe drive on the way back up the East Coast. And I wasn't originally supposed to do the song, but you know me, I can just pull them out like that.
You got it. That's right. You're our guy, Brian.
I know a place where we can go to lay the troubles down, eating your soul. I know a place where mercy flows. Take the stains, make you whiter than snow. Like a tide, it is rising up deep inside a current that moves and makes it come alive. Living water brings the dead to life. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We're going down to the river, down to the river, down to the river to pray. Hey, hey. Let's get washed by the water, washed by the water. Rise up in amazing grace. Let's go down, down, down to the river. You will leave change. Let's go down, down, down to the river. Never the same. I seen it move in my own life. took me from dusty roads into paradise. All of my dirt, all of my shame, drowned in the streams that made me born again. Like a tide, it is rising up deep inside a current that moves and makes me come alive. Living water brings the dead to life. Whoa, 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 we're going down to the river, down to the river, down to the river to pray. Let's get washed by the water, washed by the water, rise up in amazing grace. We're going down to the river, down to the river, down to the river to pray. Let's get washed by the water, washed by the water, rise up in amazing grace. Let's go down, down, down to the river. You will leave change. Let's go down, down, down to the river. Never the same. Let's go down.
Woo! Thank you, Diane. All right, everybody.
Woo. So, our elder brother and way shower, Jesus the Christ, told us, "You are the light of the world. So let your light so shine before your brothers and sisters that they might see your good works and glorify your Father, Mother, God, that is you." God bless you. Be the light. Thank you.
Woo. All right, I will unmute everyone in just one. Then we can all say goodbye. Thank you, everybody, for being
Yay!
It doesn't feel like a holiday weekend, but we'll celebrate anyway.
Celebrate anyway. That's right.
It feels really weird, like it's not really a holiday at all, is it? I don't know.
Yeah, well, you know, it's a holiday in our hearts.
It'll be
Right.
what it is for us. Yeah.
Happy beginning of summer. It's going to be a different one.
Yeah.
Best day ever.
Best day ever. Love that. I'm going to borrow that.
Thank you, Jackie.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
And all of you.
Peace out.
Oh,
Great
you all.
weekend, everybody.
Call me soon.
All.
Cindy?